Bedfords everywhere. Wherever people live, wherever people work, the chances are great that you will find a hard-working Bedford somewhere in the background. In commerce, building and industry, they are part of our way of life, specialised for fetching and carrying the goods and services needed by the subjects of the British Empire around the globe, working tenaciously for the good of the Commonwealth.
Here we are again.
Retro test number 2. Had a huge response to the first one. Went down really well, better than I thought it would.
Oh mate, it was bloody a staggering response.
A staggering response. So here we go on number 2. We've got the Queen's Good Wagon again, this time from the motherland. A 1980 TK Bedford, owned by John Bailey in Auckland. It's a 214. Bloody hell, John. Petrol with a 4-speed gearbox. It's a mighty piece of kit. And John, if you could just sneak in here and
regale us with your presence and tell us all about it.
Firstly, thanks so much for letting us
awesome, mate.
use
Awesome.
the TK Bedford MCE Paul Limited. What's the
significance?
What's the significance for you?
Merv was my first employer when I first started driving in the early 80s. So we had a TK Bedford. That was my first truck. So that was where that colour scheme and that came from. So it's a 1980, as Dave said. It's one of the very last December 1980. I believe they finished about August 81. So yeah, it's one of the last. Very fortunate. It was owned from new Olex Cables in New Plymouth. Purchased it to cart from the railhead to their local manufacturing plant in Bell Block.
So basically just did a circle, just went round and round and round.
Yeah, pretty much with what they were designed to do.
Yeah.
Undercover each night in their they had a rail siding into their warehouse. It just sat in the right hand corner out the front there for 30 plus years. So
hence the condition.
Yeah, as far as like looking for a Bedford and that goes, we're quite lucky. It's been undercover from day one. Bit of rust and bits and pieces. There's been quite a bit of work go into it, but quite fortunate.
Awesome, mate. Awesome.
GVM on this wagon?
8.2, tier weight of 3.1, giving us about 5 tonne.
5 tonne, of which we've got 2 tonne on with the blue currency.
Correct.
Yeah, excellent. Cool.
Well,
to be dehired.
To be dehired.
The appropriate account number.
Exactly.
2 tonne and $20,000.
Yeah.
But no, she's absolutely pristine. And look, honestly, John, thank you so much for this today. It's just been magic. Really appreciate it.
Great part of our transport history. You know, just seeing around town. This cab, the one size to fit for all, whether it be the KN, the KH, the TK, right down to the smallest version. So,
and of course, if we actually look at it, what the design philosophy was one cab fits nobody, as you're about to find out.
And as we sort of look over the finer details of the TK Bedford, the first thing we have to sort of look at and remember is the good old mirror shake from the one-piece rolled tube arm there. I mean, they did their job, but anything above about 30 mile an hour, you'd get that vibration going. But all parts of the personality, just like the teddy bear ear indicator park light assembly. I mean, again, part of its character. Sort of had like a bit of a happy teddy bear face, it's the headlights at its eyes there and its little ears out the side. But there'll be a lot of guys that'll be absolutely squirming with memories of a rainy day and slipping on that bottom step and sort of grinding the shin against those teeth. It was perfectly designed and positioned for maximum damage. But it's those sorts of little things that we remember fondly of the TK Bedford. As John alluded to before, one cab sort of fit it all. We've got the baby of the bunch here, but the KM Bedford was basically the same thing, just raised up with a great big Detroit slotted underneath there. So yeah, when we come round to the passenger side here for the daily checks, as you will remember with the good TK, the cab didn't tilt. So I had these wonderful access flaps on the side here to do things like checking the daily water.
That's right, Carl. The daily checks were done. This side was the water with the AC Delco thermostatic water fill pressure there. And interesting enough, the dipstick was actually on the other side. So both flaps had to be opened in the pouring rain and the truck had to be traversed around for the morning checks. Plenty of room in here for the major overhaul. Cab doesn't need to tilt at all, really. If you've got radiator issues, then that might be a different story, but wasn't going to be any problems there.
Introducing the new and improved modern features of the TK Deluxe Cab, developed by the engineers here at Bedford Trucks. Interior mood lighting, integral sleeper cab, electronic telemetric warning systems, and of course, ergonomically designed.
Wait, hang on. Well, here we are inside the cab of the mighty TK. First thoughts on the ergonomics?
Well, I'm just glad we're in the deluxe cab, Carl. We're not the standard cab.
That's right.
The deluxe cab had the vinyl on the fascia, and the standard one was basically painted to
Dulux. The Dulux finish.
Yeah.
That's right. So yes, no, we have all the beautiful pressed velour, vinyl rather, pressed vinyl trim, and
comprehensive dashboard, the full 3-gauge set.
3-gauge set there. Don't be mistaken, that's not 7,000 RPM. That is air pressure, right? So yeah, rev counter non-existent in this era.
Rudimentary switches there.
Yeah. This being the 1980 and so forth, things were starting to become a little more the emergency flashes.
Hazards.
The hazards.
Would you have driven with them on the whole time, probably?
Quite probably. And the headlight switch on this model was it's the
stop.
Yeah, it's I mean
that's designed.
There's a bit of thought went into that, a bit of design, but people may remember the earlier TKs with the big stalk out the side here and the click switch on the end there. So this one being 1980, it's as John alluded to, it's the last of this era. But yes, your wipers, 2-speed wipers, and
the heater didn't take up much space in the manual either. We have fan off, slow, fast. We have hot and cold that doesn't move, and we've got improved airflow. Through the door.
Through the door for your feet.
So there you go.
Of course, being the smaller of the TKs, the gear lever was not a bad position. No, a little 4-speed right there right beside you.
Pretty racy round town delivery track, really.
Absolutely. I'm just looking here at the emergency park brake release for emergencies only. And how could you not listen to that sound?
New Zealand Cooperative Dairy Company.
There it is. New Zealand Cooperative Dairy Company.
Tanker arriving at the tank stand.
Exactly. There it is. There it is. The mighty TK. Well, shall we adorn the PPE, the appropriate period protective equipment, and take her for a bit of a blot around town and see what she's all about?
I think we should.
Done. Let's do it.
So, of course, if you're going to operate a period truck from 1980, we decided we'd go the whole hog and get into the PPE of the day.
Exactly.
So I'm sporting the New Zealand Cooperative Dairy Company TK Bedford Roman sandal look. But we do need to fill a logbook in. So, Carl, you haven't got a pen, have you?
Oh, mate. Have I got a pen? There you go.
Fantastic.
Look, this is one of these new fandangle ones. Do you want green, red, blue, or black? It's
fine.
State of the art, mate.
It's fine. So they were either in the sock or behind the ear back in the day.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's time to take the old girl for a bit of a run. Take the Shep in for dehiring, and let's do it.
I reckon. Let's give it a go.
Like the steering wheel adjustment, the power steering was self-powered as well, and we basically relied upon a regular dose of hearty meat and vegetables to keep the power steering going. That'll be the blinker. Right, here we go.
Onwards.
Helping the situation?
Is influencing the performance of the mighty TK. It's something about the white knees.
All jokes aside though, what about the ride?
It's
It's a magnificent ride. It's just like she's like an old floating carpet.
We're losing the battle with the torque versus hill.
Torque's the winner on the day. Here she is.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
We're in a 70 km/h speed restricted zone. Chance would be a fine thing. Flashing by. It's just that stoop to look under the...
It is.
Otherwise your forward visibility's about, I don't know, 50 metres I suppose, 100 metres. I can't get over the ride.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Some manufacturers today still can't design a truck that rides like this.
Okay, considering the cab is physically bolted to the chassis,
Yeah.
it's probably barely a rubber bush down there. Popping back in this today has been incredible. It's just a step back in time for me. I mean, the sounds, the you know, just looking out the blooming passenger's window here down at the good old teddy bear air, and the wobbly mirror, and it's just all those memories of being the milk boy on the old milk trolley on the Thames milk run there with old Brian Briggs and Ronnie Briggs. What I was talking about before as well is the mirror being the grab handle on a sunny day. Hot summer's afternoon, air conditioning.
Speed camera won't pick us up.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be safe. You soon forget just how small these cabs were.
Yeah.
Considering the truck that they were positioned on. I mean,
Well, you park this alongside John's FH Volvo and it's just ridiculous.
oh,
Like it's just, the scale is just completely...
you could take it on as cabin luggage.
Yeah.
This cab would be a piece of carry-on into the FH.
It's time for intermission. During this interlude, we are proud to bring you Rope Tying 101 with Dave.
So obviously back in the day when the Bedford was in its prime, ropes were a key to load restraint, largely, and I'll probably receive all sorts of flack for the next 5 minutes on the video, but hey, we got broad shoulders. So the truckie's hitch back in the day was the old loop, double over. Now the beauty with that one was always that it was unaffected by weather, so if it got wet, doesn't matter how wet it got on the way to anywhere, it would still pull undone when you were done. So you could do single loop under the tie rail, through, back down and hitch it off, or you could do, because the Bedford's got the good rope hook here underneath, oh, it's got the rope hook, you do the loop through the first loop. This was a rope saver. Underneath the rope hook there, then pull down like that, and if you wanted to get really excited you could actually do a second hitch, a second through loop, round the rope, hook again, and then you got 2. Tie it off on the rail. Pull the slack, because I've broken the chain by doing this bit, so pull the slack through, tie it off, 2, and to use up the last bit, 3, just to get rid of it. Voila!
Well, that's it. There you go.
Retro test number 2 done. They're always a lot of fun. This has been great. This one. I've enjoyed this little truck.
It has. It's certainly showing what it was built for in the day and what it's capable of even still today.
Yeah. A huge thanks to John Bailey for letting us test his pride and joy, and a huge thanks to John Dickey out at Knight and Dickey for use of the yard.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah.
On to the next one.
On to the next one. Thanks for watching.
Did you want to sign that off?
Yeah, excellent.